Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Genius Maltby channel. I bet some of you might be surprised that we're doing a video in the middle of summer, which normally is the time I step away and kind of ignore what's going on and focus more on recreational activities and the great outdoors. Some things it's pretty hard to ignore, so we're going to talk about it, do a quick summer news update, satisfy the desire for information that some of you guys have. I know I get a lot of requests and messages and emails from you all, and it's appreciated. I take it as a compliment, and thank you guys for supporting the channel and wanting to have more content material put up. So let's talk about some headlines that are in the news. It might feel like Groundhog Day. It might feel like we've relived this scenario time and time again. To me, it seems like since the very inception or beginning of this channel, we have had to deal with the news regarding the EU, the Euro, and Greece and possible Grexits, or Greek exits they always talk about. You know, Greece getting booted out of the Union, European Union, and all the debt surrounding it. And with this issue, you know, I don't take sides with either one of them with the whole Greek or the EU situation. I feel sorry for Greece, and feel like that they got a bad deal with socialism, and as any country that adopts that level of socialist ideals will end up with a bad deal, because it's unfundable. Just that the math never pans out, and you can't have a majority of a population that's living on the dole with a minority of the population working, which is pretty much the entire European situation, in my opinion. From what I've seen being there, and from what I've read, and other sources of information. So, and of course there's always the factor of the banks and the banksters that run them, whether they're collapsing South American economies or little European economies such as Greece. The banks and the banksters always get what they want, and their casino that they run, the house never loses. So the powerless and poor little Greece is now on the chopping block. As you can see by headlines, they've closed banks. It's definitely hitting their economy, and there's now talk of a Greek exit and other catastrophic economic events in that little region. And remember, we're not immune to this, so we can't look down on them or condescend to them or be arrogant and prideful in any way, because the events that are happening in Greece can happen in your neighborhood tomorrow. And if you don't believe that, you're just telling yourself fancy little lies, because it is very possible. You'll see lines stretching down the street, just like these Greeks are, trying to get their money out of closed banks or limited funds, however much the banks might allow them to take out that day. And so it begins. Greek banks get shut down for a week, and a Grexit is now probable. So here we are, seeing headlines that we've seen in the past almost. Greek Prime Minister tears into lenders as Eurozone prepares for Grexit. Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras accused Greece's creditors on Tuesday of trying to humiliate Greeks with more cuts, as he defied a growing drumbeat of warnings that Europe was preparing for his country to leave the euro. The unrepentant address to lawmakers after the collapse of talks with European and IMF lenders at the weekend was the clearest sign yet that the leftist leader has no intention of making a last-minute U-turn and accepting austerity cuts needed to unlock frozen aid and avoid a debt default within 2 weeks. It seems like it's always they always give these guys like a week or 2 weeks or a month, and then when they get to the deadline, have you ever noticed they kick that can right down the road, and it's always like, oh, we'll give you another 2 weeks or another month. So even when 2 weeks comes around, don't expect anything too much. They'll kick this can again. And you know what? Something miraculous will happen. Remember, the Keynesians can wave magic wands and pull, instead of rabbits, they tend to pull fiat out of hats. And they got that little hat and a little stick, and they just miraculously create currency out of nothing. And then they solve the problem, which is what they did in the United States during the Great Default and the collapses of 07, 08, and even the ones prior to that, throughout history, basically. They'll wave their wands and they'll do something. At some point, at some point in history, there will come a time, we all know it, mathematically, they will fail. They will not be able to convince the masses with their little smoke and mirrors and magic tricks. And something will happen, something big, something probably world-changing, life-changing. It'll be different. It'll be a sea change, as Antal Faket has put it in his articles. So what has this done for gold? Well, there's been a modest rally for gold amid the worsening Greek debt. It just keeps bouncing around. I don't even look at rallies or rises or falls in gold price right now. I really don't even look at the price daily. I got to tell you the truth. If you're one of those people that sits there and looks at gold every day, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to just stop. I hope you're not in it for a gold day trader. If you are, I don't have a lot of kind words for people that are gold day traders. I think it's a foolish endeavor. But for those of you that are in gold, you're probably in it for the long haul. So when you look at it on a daily basis, you're only frustrating yourself. To me, it's almost like if you were to hook yourself up to an EKG, and every time your heart wasn't beating, so in between beats, the pause period, in between heartbeats, you panicked and thought you were going to die. Well, no, another heartbeat's coming, so you can calm down. You're going to beat about 60 to 80 times a minute. You're going to be just fine. Well, the same goes for gold. If you look at it on a daily basis, there's going to be days where it's not beating. It's going to be flat. Days where it's going to go down or up. So just take a step back and just ignore it. And know that the long-term trajectory, you'll see in these later headlines we discuss, you'll see where it's going. Just be confident, be cool, calm, and collected. And just enjoy other things. And just keep stacking. Keep stacking on and knowing that at some point, your efforts now, you're investing in a truth that is yet to be realized. So right now we're living in a world of lies, a world of false economics, false statements, and it seems like we're the minority, and we are, and our population of gold stackers and silver stackers increases and shrinks depending on propaganda and news. I guarantee the population of silver and gold stackers really blew up in 07, 08. But now, as things have healed and the Keynesians have kind of remedied the situation, if you will, our population has slowly dwindled. And now the true holders on of gold and silver stacking ideology, and I do have a video on the basically investing in gold ideology. You can look that up in the archives there. But the population of us has kind of shrunk to the levels I would say it's at right now, which I don't know what that is. I don't know what the population of gold and silver stackers is. But I would almost assure you that over the last several years it has shrunk as the economy has appeared to heal. Now, once it gets a little bit more dangerous and things start to change a little bit, we see more storm clouds brewing, you'll probably see the population of us increase. But those of you that are still there, still holding on, I know you guys are in it for the long haul and you're in it for the right fight, but just remember to save some frustration, don't look at the gold day to day. Who cares if there's been a modest rally of gold amid worsening Greek Greek debt? We know where it's going. We know what's going to happen, right? All right, let's keep continuing on. So, gold. There's some gold headlines. Investors add most gold to funds in 5 months. Gold is being supported by continued worries related to the Greece and investors returning to ETFs. Investors bought the most gold through physically backed funds in almost 5 months as Greece and its creditors headed for last-ditch talks. So this article precedes the previous article. Gold futures were little changed and palladium was near a 2-year low. Gold exchange traded product holdings rose 6.9 metric tons, the most since February 2nd, to 1,598.7 tons. Data compiled by Bloomberg as of Thursday's shows. Assets rose in 7 of the past 8 days, rebounding from the lowest level since 2009. Okay. Now, so we got this thing with gold. It's going up, right? And what's Texas doing amid all these things? And I know some people have their opinions of Texas. I have mine. You have yours. Everyone has their own opinion of Texas. I think Texas has a lot of great qualities and attributes. And like anything, it has some negative qualities and attributes. This isn't about Texas. We're not going to get into that. We're going to look at a specific issue here. because I do applaud a lot of the things Texas does. I like their independent spirit. I like the Lone Star State for that. I like the fact that they could be, if they wanted to, they'd be their own country, and I think they should. If I was Texas, boom, snap the fingers, I'd pop out of the union so fast. They could do it, and they should. But here you go. A Texas law will repatriate $1 billion of gold bullion from the Federal Reserve in New York to Texas. Greg Abbott on Friday, June 12, 2015, in a press release. This stirred the pot quite a bit. A lot of news was generated. So Greg Abbott says that $1 billion in gold bullion will be headed to Texas from the Federal Reserve. Uncle Sam's loss will be Texas's golden gain. Texas Governor Greg Abbott declared after signing a proposal into law creating the Texas Bullion Depository. The law, Abbott's office said in June 2015 press release, will repatriate the gold. Okay, we just read that. Repatriate per Merriam-Webster means to send money back to your country. They actually had to put that in the article. Okay. Texas to create gold bullion depository. Yeah, in regional news, Texas signed into law to establish the creation of a Texas Bullion Depository, a vault to hold gold bullion and increase the stability of Texas's gold reserves. The gold that will be put in the vault, worth more than $660 billion, is currently being held in a bank in Manhattan. Good job, Texas. Take that gold back from those thieving banksters. Not owning gold. Okay, let's move. Before we move on to that, we got to talk about this Texas thing again, real quick. Because of this news, I have read and seen rumors elsewhere and talked to some friends that also have seen similar mentions that there are a lot of investors and a lot of holders of metal that are now looking at this situation in Texas and contemplating moving metal to that region and possibly into this Texas gold bullion depository. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be a depository where people can hold their gold just like the Fed. The Federal Reserve holds gold for parties all around the world. So if this Texas place becomes a stable, good place to hold gold, and you can get your physical gold with a little bit less trouble, who knows? It might be a good thing. It's always good. Like I've said, competition's a good thing. I don't like that the Fed is the one kid on the block that has all the gold. So anything to break that power up is good. All right, gold bullion, not owning gold bullion shows us ignorance of monetary history. We've talked about this quite a bit on this channel. Anyone who looks at a timeline of the world events and history, especially economic history going back to the beginning to now, and thinks that gold does not have a role or doesn't think owning gold can ever help you or pay off, those people are basically expressing their ignorance of economic history. And that's sadly just a fact, because gold played a major part in history and still does to this day, since the beginning or the dawn of time. And we don't have time to go into the details of why. But if you watch any of the other videos on the channel and go to the lectures and speeches portions of the channel, you'll see why gold plays the role that it does. But let's hit some bullet points from this well-written and well-comprised article. Okay, here we go. Incrementum lists the most important arguments in favor of diversifying into gold. Okay, global debt levels are currently 40% higher than in 2007. That's a bad thing. The systemic desire for rising price inflation is increasing. Opacity of the financial system, volume of outstanding derivatives by now at US dollars 700 trillion, the bulk of which consists of interest rate derivatives. Concentration risk, too big to fail. Risks are significantly higher than in 2008. Gold benefits from periods of deflation, rising rates of price inflation, and systemic instability. Gold is a financial asset that has no counterparty risk. One big thing I took away from those bullet points was that we're looking at a situation that is setting up to be worse than the previous financial meltdown. And that's where I think, they will not have the ability to stop the momentum of the next coming economic crash. Okay, gold remains in a secular bull market. System is addicted to unsustainable debt. Persistent deflationary forces threaten the system. monetary authorities to take increasingly risky measures to engender inflation. Debt-based monetary system is crux of the problem. All available means, unquote, deployed to prevent global government bond bubble from bursting, which means they'll inflate the heck out of it. Aversion to owning any gold whatsoever displays ignorance of monetary history. Gold's qualities as a store of value and medium of exchange will be rediscovered. And that is something I think all of you know. And the problem is when it is rediscovered, there won't be enough of it to go around. Have gold price target of US dollars 2,300 in 3 years. That's, who knows? That's a big opinion. A lot of people have different opinions and ideas of where gold will be at. But here's gold price performance in various currencies since 2001. A lot of positive trends there. You know, the worst year was 2013. But, yeah, it lost just about 1 year's worth of gains. If you look at the years preceding that. Since 2001 to now, gold is definitely up quite a bit. I mean, in US dollars alone, you're looking at 12%. Yeah, you could have made more money in stocks and other places, but still, you know, it's doing well, it's going to do better, and it's going to blow up eventually because there's just not enough paper to cover all the gold that is out there. And there are some interesting articles on that. We've read them before. There's very little gold compared to how much debt and currencies floating around the economy. So, hope you guys enjoyed the channel today, the news, Greek exit. Hope I renewed some of the faith you guys have in the metal. I know some of you guys falter, or all of us do at times, have a tough time believing that gold will continue to be strong throughout history. But just know that one fact I always refer to is that gold has never been zero, never will be zero. And that's just the way it is. And as Voltaire has said, we all know the quote, all fiat currency eventually returns to its intrinsic value, which is zero. So, keep stacking, enjoy life, go out, dig a garden, and you know, focus on positive things and enjoy the great outdoors for me, just as I am this summer. And hope all of you are doing well. Thanks for being part of the Junius Malpe channel. And I'll sign out. Don't know when I'm going to make another video again because I'm going to do more adventurous stuff. I've been out enjoying it all, so I'll let you know when I'm back. But you know, as soon as the leaves drop and fall comes and winter's here, we really start digging back into the news and talking about things. So stick around the channel, keep subscribed, and as always, like and share. Go back, watch some of the archives if you're craving some discussion or topics. There's a lot of videos here on the channel that you can go back and enjoy. Even some of the old news ones. Just check them out for historical purposes or whatever. So, thanks. Have a great day.